Buddy, June of 2000 here, coming at you with a bit of a rant review of my least favorite Hannibal Lecter movie. And it may be controversial with some people because they love this one. No, it's not going to be the first one. I don't like Silence of the Lamb. It's boring. It's overrated as fuck. No, I'm not. No, I enjoy Silence of the Lamb. It is definitely the best movie in the franchise. No, it's not Hannibal. No, that was so bullshit. They replaced Jodie Foster. No, fuck that shit. Bro. This one, it's gonna be the sort of remake, but it's Red Dragon. This is definitely my least favorite Hannibal Lecter movie. I do like the cast, but to me, Manhunter is a better version of this movie. But all in all, it's directed by Brad Ratner and starring Edward Norton. Anthony Hopkins, of course, portrays Hannibal Lecter in this one because this is sort of prequel to Silence of the Lamb. Ralph Fiennes plays the Tooth Fairy this time. Harry Keitel um plays Edward Norton's Will Graham's partner as a cop. Emily Watson plays the blind chick. Mary Louise Parker plays Edward Norton's wife, and Philip Seymour Hoffman plays the journalist. And I'll just say some positive. I do like some of the cinematography in the movie. I did like the scene with Ralph Fiennes is where Ralph Fiennes is taking his jacket off, or robe, whatever you call it, and showing his red dragon tattoo. It is a pretty crazy scene, and also biting Philip Seymour Hoffman's tongue out, and also eating a piece of the painting of the red dragon. That scene is fucking crazy. But all in all, it's sort of the same story that I reviewed videos ago with Manhunter. It's pretty much the same story. Will Graham encountered, because the thing they added was the Will Graham situation, how he got attacked by Hannibal Lecter when they were conversating, and he was going to turn him in, but Hannibal Lecter stabbed him in the stomach a few times, and he was about to like kill him with a final blow, but Will Graham shoots him in the arm and shoulder and knocks him out, gets him committed to a mental to like getting him arrested, and Will Graham recovering from his injuries. That's like the only thing that's different that's added. And then there's like more Hannibal Lecter in this one. But I like Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, but this has got to be the weakest performance of him as Hannibal Lecter, because he was better in Silence of the Lamb and Hannibal. But all in all, I would say this is the weakest performance as Hannibal Lecter. And also, it feels like it just feels like, I don't know, just the vibe I'm getting from this movie when I watched it again. It just feels like a dull version of Manhunter. To me, Manhunter is the better version. And yeah, definitely check out my review for that. But I don't know what to say. It's just the only difference that you have more of an extended opening. You have more Hannibal Lecter, so it could be more of a Hannibal movie, because people did not like Manhunter because it's not a Hannibal movie, but Manhunter's more like a different movie. It's the Will Graham movie, as you call it. It's more Will Graham because they didn't really fleshed out his character that much in this movie. Because they just gotta shove all this bullshit where he keeps interacting with Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter throughout the movie, because they want to make it more of an Hannibal movie because we got Anthony Hopkins in it back. But yeah, Red Dragon, it's following the same story where Will Graham recovers from his injuries. Now he's being covered into the story of the Tooth Fairy killer, which is now played by Ralph Fiennes, who does a good job, but It's just like a lot of things that I'm saying about the movie. Like I just don't know. Like it's sort of a rant on this movie. Like I'm not saying this movie's a piece of shit, but it's definitely my least favorite in the franchise because I just think this movie's boring as shit. This movie's just very dull. It's just a very dull aspect. Brett Ratner was okay at directing some scenes, but it's just he's no Michael Mann. I feel like Michael Mann had more creative with the cinematography and the directing, and also the cast. I would say the cast is better in Manhunter. The cast are great here. Like you got some good actors, but Edward Norton as Will Graham, he wasn't really that good in as the character Will Graham because I feel like William Peterson played the role more badass, where Edward Norton was more like an okay character. Like he was just playing okay. You didn't really get much with Will Graham and his family. His wife is kind of more of a bit more of a nuisance bitch character where she's bitching at him about not staying there. Where his family's more controlled and more cool and more you get more story with his family in the original movie Manhunter. And Theodore Stephen Hopkins playing the journalist, it was like okay, but to me Stephen Lang was better as the journalist, especially like when Will Graham kicks his ass in the original. It was more badass where he flipped him into the car. This one is just he just gives him a quick shove. That's it, but it's just very lame. And of course, the two fairies played by Ralph Fiennes, and some of the scenes with Ralph Fiennes is pretty cool. And especially when he kills Phil Seymour Hoffman with his bitty biting his tongue and stuff. But they do find the true fairy, but true fairy commits suicide after he confesses his love about to Emily Watson's character, who's a blind girl in this remake, and he's like trying to be more sympathetic in this one, where no, you're not supposed to sympathize the villain because the Tooth Fairy is a sadistic fuck. You're not supposed to sympathize him. That's why in the original he's more of a creepy motherfucker, and Tom Noonan did a good job playing the villain, the Tooth Fairy. And all in all, you get him trying to think he committed suicide, but he didn't. So now he encounters Will Graham and his son and putting his son into jeopardy by wanting to kill him, but gets him into a trap where he ends up tackling the Tooth Fairy and shooting him, and then his wife kills the Tooth Fairy, which I thought was a lamer ending than the original. The ending was better because you got got playing in the end. Tom Noonan being a psychopathic dominant dude, beating up Will Graham, slashing his face, shooting, and having that badass thing with the gun going through the wall and shoot out with Will Graham killing him. I thought that ending was better. This ending was kind of lame. Like, what? The wife kills him? That's kind of fucking stupid, in my opinion. And of course, the ending ends with, Hannibal Lecter's gonna be informed. You're meeting with this detective, private investigator lady, Clarice, because of course it connects to Silence the Lamb. But yeah, it pretty much goes with the same story with Manhunter, but it's kind of like it's missing the flavor of Michael Mann's Manhunter original movie, where it's more of a Will Graham movie. This one's more like Hannibal Lecter. You don't get much of Will Graham and his family that much because he's in and out with Hannibal Lecter throughout this mystery of finding the killer. But it's okay. I just find this movie kind of dull compared to Manhunter. Manhunter was more badass, and I thought William Peterson playing Will Graham was more badass than Edward Norton. I'm not saying that Edward Norton is shit in this movie. It's just he kind of feels kind of weak compared to William Peterson. William Peterson was more vicious and more badass and more determined to find the Tooth Fairy killer. And I thought Brian Cox was pretty good as Hannibal Lecter. I felt like it was more sinister and more creepier. Well, of course, Anthony Hopkins is better in Hannibal and Silence of the Lamb, but it's just this is the weakest performance is him as Hannibal Lecter. It just feels kind of a dull performance, but he's better in Silence of the Lamb and Hannibal. All in all, it's just kind of a dull movie. It just doesn't have that badass, energetic mystery feel to it from the original. And I don't know. I thought Tom Noonan was the better Tooth Fairy than Ralph Fiennes, but Ralph Fiennes didn't do a bad job. Like I always say, it does have some good cast, some good scenes, but I think it's this to me is my least favorite Hannibal Lecter movie. It's just I think to me this is definitely my least favorite. It's just very dull and boring as shit. To me, Manhunter is more badass. That's the better original movie, and I'm more an original old school guy. I love OG movies more than the fucking remakes, and I like OG movies, even black and white, good shit. But to me, Manhunter's better. But this movie is alright. It's just a bit boring, and it kind of has a lame ending compared to the badass ending in Manhunter. But yeah, that's my review, folks, for Red Dragon. Sort of a rant review, but this is my least favorite. But all in all, if anybody loves it, yeah, definitely enjoy it, folks. Yeah, because I know a lot of people love it, and it may be a controversial choice, but it's my review and opinion about it. This is definitely my least favorite in the franchise. I just think it's just very boring. To me, Manhunter's a better version, and it's more badass. With Michael Mann's directing and Wayne Peters acting as Will Graham and Dennis Farina, and also young Stephen Lang and Tom Noonan as the two fairy killer. Good actors in there, and good fucking musics that they have in the movie, and a badass finale. But this is just kind of a dull movie. But have a good day, everybody. See you in the next one, folks. Bye bye.